Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Orange Zeppelin, and hopefully I don't sound too nasally in this episode. I feel like I'm sounding a little rough right now. Some of you already know that I got sick again this month. I was already sick last month. In fact, last month I thought that maybe I had got the spicy new COVID variant. That's not what I was sick with. Because what I have currently is the spicy new COVID, or what I'm recovering from is the spicy new Kraken variant, and this sucks. I'm past the worst of it, but I still sound a little bit bad. If I have any coughing, I'm gonna try to edit that out, either mute it or just clip it, because the cough is what's persisting right now, and it's a problem because I have a lot of videos that I wanted to get done in February that I keep having to push back because I sound like I am dying, and nobody wants to hear my boogeriness while they're trying to watch a cool art video. So in the month of February, what did I get done? I actually did a pretty decent job, I think. So the first thing on my list was my portrait challenge, which you guys saw my portrait of Wes Johnson when it was mostly done. I do have him finished. I love how he turned out. He loved how it turned out. When I posted it on Twitter, I did tag him, and he loved it, and I'm very happy. Actually, I do notice he is pretty active on Twitter, and I do notice he likes my posts when I comment to him. Super nice guy, very handsome. I put my reference picture for that art up on my wall so he can protect me while I sleep. I might need to switch the picture because I did have a weird fever dream at some point. NyQuil-induced fever dream where he was sitting on my chest, and I woke up and found that my cough was quite a bit worse. So maybe I need a little bit of a less terrifying picture of Wes to protect me while I sleep. But that's finished. Another piece that I did, I illustrated the character Yuri Cosmos, who is a character from the game Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. I've been watching Lucagen do a playthrough of that, and this guy, I really like his design. The second I saw him, I was like, yes, I want to draw that guy. That guy is cool. So I'm very happy how that turned out. And then another portrait, I decided that the rules for my 100 portrait challenge, it doesn't have to be a specific person. I'm considering this next illustration part of the portrait challenge, and this was part of a monthly drawing prompt. The prompt was Cyberpunk Witch, and so with this piece, I wanted to not pick a character. I'm thinking with oatmeal right now, guys. I'm still sick. I'm trying to articulate things here. Normally, when I think witch, I'm going to think a chick, but I decided I wanted to do something different than where my mind would normally go, so I picked a male character. I wanted to practice doing a darker skin tone, and also there was an attempt to do an H.R. Giger style background, which I'm going to say attempt, because Giger's an artist I have a really hard time emulating, and I think it's because I don't really understand his style super well. I love his style. I don't know what his work process really was. And so I feel like when I try to emulate him, it's just copying elements that I'm seeing, but not really getting what I'm doing. So it ends up being kind of slapped together things that I'm copying. I hope the end result actually looks okay and doesn't look like I just slapped a bunch of bullshit together. But it was a fun piece to work on because I was trying to do things that I wouldn't normally do. I was trying to experiment a little bit more, especially with that background. So that was a piece that was a great accomplishment. I also, in another art prompt piece, I did something for the Monsters Holding Bitches Draw Club this month, and that was a super quick and easy piece to do, but since it was one of the first things I did since being sick, so it was like I'm going to just do something fast and fun, get back into the groove of things. So that was enjoyable to work on. I did another extra for Valentine's Day. I did this beautiful Sheogorath piece. If maybe you guys have been getting a little bit too much sleep lately, you can just look at this. You will not sleep for hours and hours. You will lie awake in horror. So that masterpiece occurred. What did I accomplish other than that? I actually did some of my sketches and plans for the Beowulf comic. That was next on my list. And I don't have a lot figured out. I'm rereading Beowulf. So this might not look like a whole hell of a lot, but there are a few page layouts. I have some notes about how I'm pacing everything out. This is what the original comic was planned out as, because I've mentioned before that I'm remaking a comic I did for a 12th grade English class project, and so I'm kind of keeping what I did originally in mind. I do want to change things up based off of, like, I don't know, hopefully writing the comic a little bit better and just making it the best it possibly can be now, while also remembering what was my original vision for this. So that is happening. You guys saw the zine how-to video that I recently posted. So if you haven't checked that out, actually, if you have not checked that out yet, definitely do so. I break down my whole comic making process. Actually, if you want to know what's happening here, you can get a similar, you kind of see me do something similar in the video. I had to pause to cough. So you can see me explain, like, how do I plan out my comics? What do my scripts kind of look like? What little templates do I use for printing out a zine? All that sort of thing. And I do explain the weird process of actually printing a zine. If you've ever done something, if you haven't done something like that before, it's a weird process. So I do try to break that down. So that went up. My January Art Snacks video is up. The February Art Snacks I didn't get around to because of the whole dying thing. So that's going to be a little bit late. I did just like the filming for a coloring video I'll be posting eventually. I'm going to do a voiceover for that because when I actually was working on the piece, I sounded even worse than I do now. I just kind of sounded like this, and I wasn't entirely sure this is the kind of voiceover the average viewer would like to listen to. They don't want to hear the kind of noises every few seconds. So I spared you guys that. So actually what I did in that video is I was coloring the... If you've seen the latest issue of Brain Fart Comics, I have a coloring page in the back, and I actually colored the coloring page with crayons and markers, and I did some experimental things that at first didn't work super well, and then things actually did start to look pretty good towards the end. So that'll happen eventually. I just need to make sure my voice sounds a little bit better before I do the voiceover for that, and then that'll be coming out. I know I mentioned I was going to repaint my Toxic Avenger piece. I didn't get around to that. I think I only need a tiny bit of talking in the introduction, and then I can just go and film the painting and I don't have to say anything. So that actually could probably be done really soon. It just didn't happen last month. So yeah, there's a couple of video things that just are not gonna get done. Is that actually all on the list? That might have been everything. I think I actually did really good in February despite getting sick and despite the fact that I couldn't do any video stuff. I also sold a Game Boy Pocket yesterday. I got one fixed up. I bought a batch of 5 busted Game Boy Pockets. And out of that batch, I've gotten 3 that can definitely work. There's one of them that I need to clean up still because aesthetically it looks kind of bad. I had to switch out the screen for a mostly better screen. I had 2 screens that were in perfect shape, and one of them has like this tiny little screen burn. Like the third one that works has a little bit of a screen burn, very small. It's only slightly annoying. The other 2 screens are just, they're bad. Actually, wait a minute. Let's grab ourselves a screen that is very seriously burnt. So this already has the polarizing filter peeled off of it, and that, like, butthole of doom right there, that is, it's the back polarizing filter, and that's something, I think it's the back polarizing filter, if I'm understanding how the back burns work. This is something that would actually be extremely difficult and annoying to fix. If you have a burn just on the front polarizing filter, that's fine. Actually, some of the screens I have that were in good shape, they did have a screen burn on the front filter, and I was just able to clean that up and put a new filter on. That's unfortunate. This actually, when I first saw it, I thought they were dead pixels. I think it really just is burn, but it's so, you can't actually see it very well. You can see the reflection of my phone. We've got some like recursion going on. But yeah, I thought this was screen burn. It was so bad. So, and actually, while we're at it, while we're talking about Game Boy Pockets, that's bad. That right there is all corrosion. And so this is one of 2 boards that presumably doesn't work. I'm afraid to put batteries in this thing and see if I feel like it's just going to explode. I don't know, but you can see, oh, you can kind of see all that blue. That is corrosion that actually, it didn't look this bad when I got it, and then I don't know if it's just because we live in a very moist environment. I'm right by the beach. There's a lot of saltiness in the sea air. Actually, one of my friends on Tumblr was saying that the saltiness of the air can speed up something like corrosion. So the fact that I did not clean this immediately after getting this, I just put it in a box for safekeeping, I think that probably just caused the corrosion to get worse. If it looks like I'm like crying the whole time, it's because I have to keep pausing to cough. Oh my goodness, maybe I should have waited a day. I think my original plan was I was going to do the voiceover for my coloring video, but I'm not sure that's going to sound too good. I don't know. This vlog is already kind of rough to record, so oh well. But mostly February was a pretty good month, even though I repeated the whole getting sick thing. I did not get a repeat of my town flooding, so that's good. You gotta look at the bright side. I'm not underwater. I'm really hoping, I don't know if I've complained about this before in my videos. I feel like I've probably complained about this, but there's a bike path that I was using to get to the wildlife clinic every week. Super convenient path. It's been under construction for almost 2 years, and it is so close to being done. And I'm hoping that in this time of me being sick, they're actually going to finish it. And part of the reason I bring that up is because in the last storm, I could see part of the path had gotten flooded in a spot, and that was one of the things that I was hoping they were going to fix, is that bike path would just flood in one spot whenever it rained. And there were times where I'd be going to the wildlife clinic, I'd be riding my skateboard down that path, and just underwater, I would have to wade in some spots ankle deep water, very slick and muddy, just to get to the clinic. And oh my gosh, there was a chain link fence. There is a chain link fence. I think it's still there. But it's got like blackberry brambles growing into it. So I'm trying to, either I have to wade in, I think in the middle it was over ankle deep water. Either I go through that or I walk on the side that's super slick and muddy, or I'm holding my skateboard with one hand and the other hand I'm holding on to like the chain link fence, getting blackberry brambles stuck in me. I was hoping they were gonna fix that problem and I wouldn't have to dredge through the damn swamp to get where I'm trying to go. But I do have to remember that storm, there was buildings and businesses were underwater. That is unusual levels of flooding. So the fact that the path flooded in that storm isn't really indicative of anything. As long as our recent rain didn't cause any flooding, we should be good. I just want my path to be there and to always be accessible and to not need a kayak to get to the wildlife clinic. Because what I'm doing right now is, because I can't take that path, my normally 2-mile commute to the clinic is closer to 3.5 to 4, because I have to ride my bike through a kind of busy part of town. And I used to go to the clinic on Saturdays, and so I'm on a super busy part of the town on Saturdays, making the commute basically at noon. And during the summer, it was like, I'm gonna die doing this. I am going to get squashed by some tourist who doesn't know how to drive in this town. I'm going to be just a stain on the ground. Let's not do that. So I switched to volunteering during the week, and usually that works out fine, except for something like Labor Day weekend. Mondays doesn't. I just really want my damn bike path back. That's what I'm getting at. So all that bullshit aside, mostly February was very successful. So what do I intend to do in March other than just not get sick again? The fact that I have first 2 months of the year have involved me being quite sick, that's not super promising, but I'm gonna try to not do that again. Okay, so March, like I said, I got some videos backed up, so I will get the Toxic Avenger video. That actually I think I can do the soonest. The Brain Fart Comics coloring video, it's just I have to get through a voiceover and edit that in. I might want to wait a few more days, because you're hearing what I sound like, and I've been sparing you of the coughing fits. It's not good to listen to, so maybe I can get that done soon. I'm not sure. And then Art Snacks, I'm going to have 2 Art Snacks videos coming out this month, because I got to do the February video, and then March is going to happen. That's going to be all the video stuff. I'm going to continue on with my portrait series. I might do some portraits that are just more sketchy, which I know I said part of my goals with the portrait challenge is that they're all going to be really good, but literally nobody is holding me to the standard except me. I can do some looser portraits in there. There's kind of no rules to the portrait challenge. It's all completely arbitrary. I am the only one that decides, does this count, does it not? And I don't know what my own rules are, so that's all good. So I'm going to get some portraits done in some way or another. I'm going to do a little more planning for the Beowulf comic. I think I'm going to get some character designs done. That could even count for some portraits. I have a comic that I keep putting off, and I just wanted to take I wanted last month to be just a break from comic stuff, since I don't know, I got kind of burnt out on it, but now I feel like I can jump back in with a little more focus. I'm going to be working on Whoa Awesome Space Babe X, which is a spin-off to the main Whoa Awesome Space Babe comic, and this is going to star Nighthawk. It's going to be a little shorter, and it's going to be a little spicier, because our boy Nighthawk, he's he has some spicy inclinations, so we're gonna see what his adventures are like. So that is gonna happen to some degree in March. I want it all planned. It's mostly planned. I need to finish that up. And then at the very least, have the penciling done, maybe? I'm just going to see how much I am able to get done in the next month. And then I also just have on the list, I'm going to work on promo. Just pimping Brain Fart Comics as much as possible. Pimping Whoa Awesome Space Babe as much as possible. Just work on networking and just getting my name out there, helping other creators get attention also, because we are all in this together and it is not easy. So that is the goal for March. And on that note, I think I have made you guys suffer from listening to my boogeriness long enough, so I'm gonna call the video good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys stay very healthy and do not get the coof or any other kind of germs. And I hope you have a great time making art.